2018 Peugeot 5008 SUV Review. Pros: bold looks, spacious interior, flexible seating, engine range, massive boot. Cons: tight third row is perfect for kids. Headroom restricted by optional glass roof. You'll pay extra for desirable features. If you can remember the first generation of Peugeot 5008, then whatever you recall won't be an edgy SUV as it is now. Instead, that it was a traditional MPV with 7 seats, albeit within a body style that's fallen away from favor with European buyers. Ever resourceful, Peugeot's not removed all in the old 5008's 7-seat flexibility. Indeed, it's enhanced it and packaged it to become a fashionable crossover instead. What's more, it's shaved typically 95 kilograms by reviewing the heft, which means that a range of smaller capacity engines can propel the 5008 along speedily yet efficiently. While larger 7-seat off-roaders are round every corner, Peugeot says cars on the 5008 size and price are quite few. Only the Nissan Strail, Skoda Kodiaq and Volkswagen Tiguan Allspace really can claim to compete directly. If you need space for 7 and adventurous off-road styling without worrying about associated exterior size, step by doing this. On-road off-roader: despite the transfer of attitude and boosted ride height, the 5008 remains a vehicle that will mostly live its life on-road. There is no four-wheel drive option, even though it may stick to the smaller 3008 with 4-driven wheels due to hybrid technology. It's ostensibly a 7-seat version on the 3008, a vehicle that we like significantly, thanks in no small part to its strong bunch of engines, Bluety 4-cylinder diesel motors, plus 1.6-liter and PureTech 3-cylinder petrols, topped using a more powerful ETH 4-cylinder power plant. All offer promisingly low fuel consumption to keep bills down, as detailed from the green credentials and running costs elements of this review. More space inside the 5008 retains the 3008's roof height but is 19 centimeters longer, with 16.5 centimeters of these inside the wheelbase to get a roomier passenger compartment. As such, there's more elbow room at the start, knee room inside the second row and headroom in third row compared to old car, including a cavernous 1.060-liter boot in 5-seater mode. Best of all, rearmost seats are easy to remove if not needed and easily stored within a garage, weighing only 11 kilograms each. They take back an additional 40 liters of boot space each. Interior techfest: this isn't the initial car to feature Peugeot's iCockpit design, but it's certainly one from the most exciting. Not only do you have the small controls and high-level dials, there's also a wealth of technology on display. For a start, higher-spec models include a 12.3-inch screen, the place that the main instruments would usually be, with an 8.0-inch touchscreen within the center console. Pleasingly, there's even a bank of physical switches underneath that for high-use things such as the aircon or sat-nav, unlike previous Peugeots which hid that functionality away within the touchscreen's menus. There's a huge nod to safety too, with standard-fit autonomous emergency braking, traffic sign recognition and driver attention warning system. The verdict: while the 7-seater SUV market isn't the fiercest of sectors, the talent Awachi present is clear and will only get stronger. Peugeot's armed the 5008 with competitive pricing, generous numbers of equipment and styling created to make it stick out, not fade into the background. Plus, despite operate looks, it's more practical than its MPV predecessor on the same name. That's quite an achievement. Watch the full Peugeot 5008 SUV review to find out how flexible this MPV in disguise really is. Small capacity turbocharged engine's efficiency is essential, Not outright pace manuals and autos, but no four-wheel drive Peugeot draws from the stable of PureTech 3-cylinder petrol and Bluety 4-cylinder diesel engines to the 5008, and also a 1.6-liter higher performance turbo petrol motor, called ETHP. Economical diesel engines kicking things off can be a 1.6-liter diesel engine obtainable in Bluety 100 and Bluety 120 guises, the previous with 99 horsepower exclusively fitted, which has a 5-speed manual gearbox, whilst the latter 120 horsepower comes using a 6-speed manual or perhaps an automatic transmission with similar number of ratios. With a highly regarded speed of 108 miles per hour and also a 0.62 miles per hour duration of 13.6 seconds, the Bluety 100 will be the slowest 5008 available, and finest avoided unless your allowance won't stretch further. Making an improved fist of things, the Bluety 120 reaches 113 miles per hour 115 miles per hour together with the auto gearbox and requirements 11.4 seconds with the 0.62 miles per hour 11.9 seconds with the automatic. We've driven the better 2.0-liter Bluety 150 diesel, which includes 150 horsepower and 6-speed manual 4 more with 181 horsepower from the automatic in the Bluety 180, exclusively available inside 5008 GT. The automatic is again a 6-speeder, and often will be replaced by an 8-speed transmission at the outset of 2018. That Bluety 150 version supplies a pleasing swell of 370 Nm torque from 2000 revolutions per minute, and there's a lighter weight and positive feel towards the gearshift. It's enough for the 129 miles per hour top speed along with a swifter 9.6-second 0.62 miles per hour time. It's an easy-going motor having a smooth power delivery and admirable refinement and less revved hard, at which it gets to be a bit noisy. Interestingly, rapidly power and torque now 400 Nm increase, the Bluety 180 is barely any quicker, top speed is 131 miles per hour, whilst the 0.62 miles per hour time is shaved as a result of 9.1 seconds, which makes it the quickest 5008. Peppy petrol engines. Not that some time ago the idea of a 1-hour 2-liter, 3-cylinder petrol-powered 7-seater SUV might be a dreary proposition, however the nature of contemporary turbocharging means it's not just an acceptable power plant from the Peugeot 5008, but a characterful and desirable one too. Familiar off-there Peugeots, and also various cars with Citroën, DS and Vauxhall badging, from the 5008 it's only for sale in PureTech 130 guise. This equals 131 horsepower and 230 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute, with whether manual or automatic gearbox both 6-speed. Left to its own devices the automobile transmission delivers smooth and timely shifts, but responded more promptly to manual inputs from your column-mounted shift paddles if the roads became more difficult. There's a lot of low-speed punch from your small petrol engine. In truth it deserves a bit more work versus the easier to live with diesels, mainly due to the reliance on being revved quite hard. Let the engine speed drop too low and you'll find yourself in a very bit of your power black hole. Still, if you love the means of extracting the most beneficial performance from a train locomotive, this PureTech unit is a rewarding choice. Statistics-wise, both transmission types allow a 117 miles per hour top speed, while using manual taking 10.9 seconds to finish the 0.62 miles per hour benchmark, the car 10.4. A faster 1.6-liter ETHP 165 engine is obtainable, with 165 horsepower and 240 Nm of torque from 1,400 revolutions per minute tops the petrol lineup. But also in truth its skewed balance of power against economy doesn't paint it in the favorable light compared with all the diesels. Thanks with a 128 miles per hour top speed plus a 9.2-second 062 miles per hour time, it's your second fastest model inside the range. Sport mode function. A button within the central console emblazoned Sport sharpens in the throttle response, power delivery and also the automatic gearbox's shifts. Left in normal mode, the self-shifting 5008 is fairly responsive but will shift up early to prioritize economy. To avoid awkward multiple downshifts with a more spirited drive, the Sport setting holds on the car's lower gears to make certain decent engine response as well as a smoother drive. The downside on this of course is poorer fuel economy plus more noise. Safe and secure as opposed to engaging good body control and all-round traction levels. No 4x4 models but advanced grip control offered. The Peugeot 5008 is really a bit of any mixed bag within the handling stakes based on which engine you select. The 1.2-liter petrol unit is quite a bit lighter as opposed to 2.0-liter diesel. This also translates into a greater sense of agility whenever you turn the liter. In reality though this is not a motor vehicle you're gonna be setting blistering lap times in, it's a practical family car for 7 and also on that basis the way it handles is satisfactory. There's a lot of grip and the body roll is within the whole well controlled, resulting inside a rewarding drive and reduced degrees of nausea for those within the back. As with a lot of modern cars there isn't lots of feedback over the tiny controls. But it's linear and predictable rolling around in its nature, with an abundance of confidence-inspiring weight at higher speeds, unlike the lighter, vaguer power steering systems noticed in older SUVs. Advanced grip control. While there aren't any four-wheel drive-equipped models, Peugeot possesses its clever traction control system that optimizes the car's various electronic aids to make certain you can drive safely on snow, mud or sand. In addition, you have hill descent control that can help negotiate steep slopes for a computer-controlled 2 miles per hour, and 18-inch wheels with mud and snow tires to aid adhesion levels while off-road. Very attractive and solid cabin. More switches than other recent Peugeot's digital dashboard has customizable instruments. This could very well be the area in which the Peugeot 5008 shows its greatest improvement. The cabin is a fantastically futuristic and sharply styled destination to be identical for the arrangement from the smaller 3008. Some harder plastics remain, notably around areas such as the central tunnel where there'll be frequent connection with limbs, but for the whole the fabric quality is excellent and pleasingly tactile. It's also more ergonomic thanks to some bank of 7 satin chrome switches for that audio, air conditioning, sat-nav, general settings, telephone, apps, and hazard warning lights. These look wonderful and respond on the touch using a pleasing click. Other Peugeots like the 308 migrated a number of these functions to touchscreen sub-menus, making an effort to declutter the cabin but in addition adding unnecessary steps to the process of turning in the ambient temperature, by way of example. With its additional physical controls, the 5008 is really a much better balance of they. Is Peugeot's iCockpit in your case? Peugeot calls its cabin design iCockpit, an increasing set of dials and small tire, and delay well for almost all drivers, and not so well to get a few. It's worth organizing a long test drive within a 5008. Include side in the fence you lay on. Presenting vital information within the 5008 are 2 screens, a substantial 12.3-inch higher-resolution display using place in the traditional analog dials on higher-end models, plus an 8.0-inch touchscreen inside the center for such things as the sat-nav and media information. The former offers a mount of different looks, from minimal digital speedo, to traditional-looking dials, along with a more stylized version with turn-by-turn navigation instructions too. Finally, there's an exclusive amplify function on the market to GT line and GT cars, which tailors the cabin ambience within a number of different areas, like screen color and interior lighting brightness, stereo equalizer settings, seat massage mode and fragrance diffuser. There's a choice in the more exciting boost mode or mellower relax. Rides well on smooth or rough surfaces. Engine noise is well isolated from cabin wind and tire roar are admirably hushed given the Peugeot 5008's primary function as family vehicle. Its suspension errs around the side of comfortable as an alternative to sporty. That said, although it irons out lumpy roads well, there's a sharpness when traversing potholes along with cracked surfaces, because of not being floaty and nausea-inducing. The 1.2-liter petrol engine and diesels are not intrusive with regard to cabin noise, having a cheerful 3-cylinder thrum inside background and side case on the former. Of each of the engines available, it's the ETH165 that's most vocal. What impressed most was deficiency of wind and tire noise, which points on the 5008 as being a talented long-distance cruiser. The front seats are large and cosseting whilst the 3 individual chairs within the second row, although smaller, are surprisingly sculpted and supportive, with a good amount of head and legroom. It's the third row that disappoints, only really well suited for children, or adults over short distances. Access to your rearmost seats is okay, while not as easy mainly because it is with all the closely related Citroën Grand C4 Picasso. Generous degrees of standard equipment. Some niceties remain optional, though think carefully about which extras you add in. The Peugeot 5008 trim level hierarchy closely matches that with the smaller 3008, save in order for there being no entry-level access specification. Standard Peugeot 5008 SUV equipment. There's the full list of ordinary equipment on all 5008s, but highlights for every grade include Peugeot 5008 active lane departure warning, autonomous emergency braking, rear parking sensors, aluminum roof rails, 17-inch Chicago alloy wheels, automatic lights and wipers, dual zone climate control, blue ambient lighting, leather wrapped leather Mistral cloth upholstery, DAB radio, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, mirror link. Peugeot 5008 Allure. Here the 5008 additionally includes Peugeot Connect SOS and Assistant Safety Plus pack comprising of lane keeping assist, automatic main beam and blind spot warning, dark tinted rear privacy glass, front parking sensors, 180-degree reversing camera, electrically folding door mirrors, 18-inch Detroit alloy wheels, extended ambient lighting, Brumio fabric on dashboard and door panels, Pie Demonte fabric and vinyl upholstery, tray tables on front seatbacks, window blinds for second row passengers, TomTom 3D Satna voice recognition for several controls. Peugeot 5008 GT line. There's a sportier vibe from here on. Full LED headlamps with scrolling front indicators, perforated leather-wrapped leather black door mirror caps and roof, aggressive front bumper design with deeper grille, black headlining, configurable screen settings, wireless smartphone charging, amuley cloth and vinyl upholstery. Peugeot 5008 GT flagship in the lineup only comes with stronger engines and adaptive cruise control, keyless entry and start, electric tailgate, panoramic glass roof, 19-inch Boston alloy wheels, gray oak effect dash panels, heated front seats, massage function for driver's seat, napa leather upholstery optional. Peugeot 5008 SUV extras. Peugeot has sensibly chosen to restrict the amount of optional extras somewhat to the 5008. Instead encouraging customers to progress on the next trim level in the hierarchy as an alternative to specify a large spectrum more features. While some can be dismayed which it reduces the personalization possibilities, the simple truth is it makes more sense with the majority of buyers. Metallic and pearlescent paint is optional in general, while a contrast gloss black roof can be obtained at extra expense on active and Allure trims. Leather upholstery may also be specified. Safety might be enhanced having an adaptive cruise control function on PureTech 130 automatic models, and traction boosting advanced grip control partially makes up for your lack of four-wheel drive. Extra designs of 18 and 19-inch alloy wheels can ordered, too, but they're not compatible with all the advanced grip control packages. Easy fuse is increased with keyless entry and starting, an electrical tailgate with an upgraded camera system with a 360-degree aerial view. An upgraded focal audio system is usually added, as can a smartphone wireless charging plate, while a 3-pin 230-volt socket within the rear center console assists in maintaining the kid's electronic products fully charged. Peugeot also expects the opening panoramic glass roof complete with the electric blinds to certainly be a popular choice as commemorate the cabin feel much airier. 5-star Euro NCAP crash test result. Plenty of normal safety kit 3 ICE-FIX points from the middle row. Although the Peugeot 5008 hasn't been specifically crash tested by Euro NCAP to evaluate its safety, smaller and closely related 3008 has become, gaining a 5-star score in 2016. There's a enlightening standard safety measures to protect your passengers, including 6 airbags, a control for that rear child locks within the driver's door panel, lane departure warning, cruise control, automatic emergency braking and traffic sign recognition. If you wish to spend extra, it is possible to specify adaptive cruise control on automatic 5008s. Advanced grip control to further improve front wheel traction in slippery conditions, and Peugeot's SOS and assistance package, an attribute that's standard on Allure trim and above. It's inevitable that numerous 5008s will likely be used to ferry younger kids around, a feat made somewhat easier with a trio of person middle row seats each getting an ICE-FIX child C8 mounting point. The smaller couple of chairs inside the third row are sized to accommodate children and smaller adults, but there isn't any ICE-FIX lashing points there. 5008's trump card on the 3008. Plenty of space for passengers, decent number of storage spaces considering the Peugeot 5008's relatively compact footprint. It boasts a really strong interior space offering. The French manufacturer reckons its space efficiency is class-leading, which is to refuse other 7-seat SUV offers a greater ratio of external size and interior roominess. For a start, we have an extra 165 mm between your wheels when compared together with the 3008, translating into decent legroom from the second row. You'll want to make one of the most of this extra room when transporting adults from the third row. There's more room back here than you'd expect, but taller passengers requires those from the middle seats to slide their chairs forward. The third row offers enough room for youths, and there is often a 12-volt socket and drink slot like a concession to long-distance comfort. Access through side doors is decent, and it's simple to slide the outer middle row seats outside of the way. Luckily, the other row is made up of person seats that may be moved fore and aft and also reclined. They're also treated to some pair of airplane-style picnic tables, although unlike the Volkswagen Touran, these don't employ a 45-degree setting to get a tablet or integrated fold-out cup holders. Pick the panoramic roof as well as the headroom inside the first and second row takes a slight hit. You can find the driver and front passenger seat very reasonable though, so taller occupants would want to claim one particular. There's a decent amount of storage cubbies round the cabin, however the Positon in the cup holder inside front ensures that taller bottles used in them will foul the motorist's left arm when changing gear. Cleverly compact in contrast to other 7-seater SUVs, although don't mistake that for equating to small. Park inside a typical multi-story car park and you'll probably discover the nose on the Peugeot peeks out at night marked bay. Still, it's not all concerning encounter difficulties on height-restricted parking lots. Urban driving is usually a dawdle, too, with light steering and good visibility. A 180-degree reversing camera is standard of all models, which has a 360-degree alternative available at expense. Fold every one of the seats flat and you'll unlock 2,042 liters of space. Remove seats 6 and 7. This also is increased to 2,150 liters. With 5 seats up you will always get a respectable 952 liters, or 166 liters operating 7 used.